everyone, welcome to Simple Stuff 101, your How to Do Everything channel. This video is the language series, episode 1. We're going to be talking about common American English idioms and their meanings. Let's start with the definition of an idiom. An idiom is a phrase that is unique to one language and or culture that cannot easily be understood or translated just based on the literal definition of the word used. They're basically a figurative expression. Now let's begin with just a few, and then later in the series we'll do more of these as well. And before we start, please make sure to hit the thumbs up on this video if you like this kind of video, and also subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell. Insult to injury. Now this is usually said basically when there's already something that's going wrong, a problem, an issue, a concern, some kind of mishap, and something or someone does something that just makes the whole situation even worse than it already is. Let's give it an example. Let's say you have a friend who lied to you, and then they do something later that's even worse, where let's say they stole from you as well. That is definitely an example of adding insult to injury. Next idiom, drop of the hat. This usually indicates when someone will stop whatever they're doing and they will attend to whatever else is going on. An example of this is a great friend who basically, if you call them, no matter what they're doing, if you have something that you need, even if it's like a ride, whatever they are doing, and they will help you out. The cat got out of the bag. Now this is usually when someone discloses a secret that wasn't supposed to be told to everybody. A lot of times it can be something like, let's say someone's pregnant and they didn't want to tell everybody yet, and so basically that is a way of saying the cat got out of the bag. Cool as a cucumber. Now this usually indicates when an individual is calm and collected. A lot of times if it's something, let's say like a person has a speech coming up, but they're acting as cool as a cucumber. In other words, they're super calm and they're not rattled, they're not anxious. Next one, leave no stone unturned. This is basically when an individual does every single thing that they could possibly do to try to find something, to try to discover something, to try to basically search for something. A lot of times is what it's used in context with. Doing everything that one can to get something done, get something accomplished, find something specifically. You could use this basically an example, something like, let's say someone's looking for a job, or they are trying to find a gig for playing music, and they've gone down every avenue that they possibly can, and they've tried different things, and they're interviewing several different places and trying lots of different kinds of different techniques and things like that. Heavy heart. This is a lot of times used when there's something that there's a lot of sadness when you're saying it, when you're expressing sympathy for another person, saying that I have a really heavy heart for this person, or that you have a heavy heart today because of someone passing. It's particularly used a lot of times when people do die, so this is definitely something that is used quite often. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. We hear this phrase used typically if, let's say, you have a couple who is dating and they're in a long distance relationship, and let's say before they weren't, and then all of a sudden now that they're in a long distance relationship, they want to see each other even more. A lot of times we'll see that with people that are like, oh, we're going to get married because I just know you're the one, and so a lot of times they'll say that in context of trying to be like, maybe having that time apart will help to strengthen the love. This one is adding fuel to the fire. This is kind of similar to one of the other idioms that we said earlier, is basically making a situation or problem worse by doing or saying something that is just going to make the whole situation a lot worse. So let's say two people are in an argument, and then another person jumps in and tries to start giving their input. A lot of times, just adding that little bit can make the whole situation worse altogether. Lose your touch. Now, this idiom is used in context of basically if someone used to do something really well, whether it's a talent or a special ability that this individual has, and then maybe over some certain amount of time or years that the individual no longer has that same talent or ability. Example of this might be is if a guy that was really popular with the ladies and very charming and all the girls liked him, later down the road you may say something like, now all of a sudden if he's not getting girls or he's not as charming, he's lost his touch. Going cold turkey. I like this phrase. I think it's kind of, it's just one that we hear quite a bit. Usually it's when someone stops something that there's no weaning period. In other words, they stop it abruptly. There's nothing that they do to kind of wean themselves off of whatever that they're doing. Sometimes people will say that, particularly when they're trying to stop some type of habit. We use it a lot, specifically with smoking cessation, but it can also be used for other things, like if someone quits drinking, or if they quit pop or sweets, that kind of thing. Piece of cake. It's going to be a piece of cake. Cake sounds great, and so basically this is used in the context of if something, it looks like it's going to be super easy. People will say that. Sometimes it's funny because a lot of times that foreshadows that it's actually not going to be a piece of cake or that easy, and so a lot of times, yeah, this is used in the case of basically when it looks like something's going to be really easy to do. But it also signifies a type of confidence as well, that you're displaying that this thing or this activity is going to be easy for you. That's it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you get our latest videos, and also give a thumbs up to this video if you like these kind of videos, and also stay tuned for more videos on how to do just basically everything.